That day in the courtroom, with dozens of people watching closely, Diddy looked visibly shaken. His hands were trembling, his face lost all color, and his eyes were wide with fear as he stared blankly at the screen in front of him. The screen was showing a shocking video that had just been presented. Struggling to speak, he asked the judge for permission to go to the restroom, his voice shaky. "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm just a bit nervous," he said. What really broke him down was the piece of evidence shown moments before a video that directly connected him to the mysterious death of Kim Porter. So what really happened on the night Kim Porter died? Back in 2018, her death was believed to be caused by pneumonia, but now, that explanation is being questioned more than ever. Kim, who had been Diddy's longtime girlfriend and the mother of his 3 children, was said to have known many dark secrets from her time with the music mogul. And now that Diddy is on trial for serious crimes, including sex trafficking and extortion, her death seems more connected to the case than anyone expected. Things that once looked random and unrelated are beginning to come together, forming a disturbing story that's finally being exposed. Kim Porter's sudden death shocked Hollywood and fans around the world. She was a model, actress, and producer, and had shared a long, complicated relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. In November 2018, at just 47 years old, she died suddenly, even though she had been seen as a healthy, lively woman who adored her family. The suddenness of her death led to many theories and raised questions that never went away. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office said Kim died from lobar pneumonia, a serious infection that affects part of the lung. Their report mentioned she had mild flu-like symptoms in the days leading up to her death, including a fever, sore throat, cough, and fatigue. She was given the antibiotic azithromycin along with vitamins and electrolytes. But despite the treatment, her condition quickly got worse and she passed away. Investigators labeled her death as natural and didn't look into it further. But over time, strange and troubling details started to come out, leading many to wonder if the natural cause really explained everything. The first person to speak publicly about his doubts was Albie Shore, a well-known R&B singer and Kim Porter's former partner, was one of the first people to raise doubts about her death. He is also the father of Kim's eldest son, Quincy. In an interview with Fox 5 New York, Albie Shore didn't hold back. He said, "She was perfectly healthy. We had just seen each other before she passed away." When asked if he believed pneumonia was really what killed her, he answered firmly, "Of course not." Coming from someone who had lived with Kim, his words carried serious weight. Things became even stranger when Albie Shore revealed that he had suffered multi-organ failure, and he hinted that it might be linked to what he had said about Kim's death. When asked if he thought Diddy or someone close to him had something to do with his health crisis, he simply said, "I think so." And when the interviewer questioned whether he was afraid of Diddy's influence even though he was now in custody, Albie Shore responded chillingly, "Remember, I'm the only one speaking up, and I'm the only one still alive." His words sounded like something out of a crime thriller and left listeners feeling unsettled. Albie Shore wasn't the only one with doubts. A former bodyguard of Diddy's, Gene Deal, also came forward with alarming claims. He questioned why, during such a serious illness, Kim Porter wasn't able to contact her family. He also said her body wasn't properly examined and even suggested she may have died after a physical struggle with Diddy. Gene stated, "I don't want to say exactly what I think, but I believe there may have been an argument, a scuffle, and Puff might have been playing rough like he usually does, maybe something like a pillow fight, and she suffocated." He also pointed out something strange: who gives a massage to someone with pneumonia? If that wasn't shocking enough, Gene Deal revealed a disturbing rumor that Kim Porter's casket was allegedly ordered 2 months before she died. That kind of detail isn't just odd, it's a massive red flag. But the story didn't stop there. In 2024, a mysterious self-published book titled Kim's Lost Words appeared. It was marketed as a memoir written by Kim Porter herself and was filled with explosive accusations. The book spoke of wild sex parties involving A-list celebrities, immoral behavior, financial scams, and even hints that Kim had been threatened. One passage read, "I did things with Sean that I could never do with a straight man. I woke up and walked out of the bedroom I was in, and Sean was coming out of another bedroom with a top rapper and that woman's husband." The memoir also described multiple incidents of abuse that Kim allegedly suffered at the hands of Diddy, according to the book. The first time he hit her was after she rejected his sexual advances. Another scene described Diddy pinning her to the floor in her apartment and threatening her with a gun, saying, "You belong to me, and now you have no choice. I can't live without you." And just when the public thought it couldn't get any more disturbing, new claims surfaced in yet another interview about the moment Kim Porter's body was discovered. These new revelations only deepened the public's suspicion about what really happened to her. In today's world, a woman might forget her house keys but rarely her phone. Yet to this day, no one knows what was on Kim Porter's phone, only that she had an iPhone. That missing piece remains one of the many unanswered questions surrounding her mysterious death. Why hasn't anyone accessed Kim Porter's cloud account to recover her text messages or other important data from her phone? That question still hasn't been answered. Where is Kim's phone now? Why did it disappear after her death? These questions are troubling. Many people find it hard to believe that someone in Kim's position, wealthy, connected, and health conscious, would stay at home and die from pneumonia without involving a doctor or medical professional. And why would anyone take her phone, tablet, or computer? Taking someone's personal devices after they've died isn't just suspicious, it borders on criminal. Even more alarming are reports from the scene, which stated that bloodstains were found on Kim's bedsheets. That small detail has raised major concerns. Why was there blood at all if this was supposed to be a natural death from pneumonia? Between the missing electronics and the blood, it's hard not to feel like something far more disturbing happened. Kim wasn't just anyone, she was a woman who moved in powerful entertainment circles, and she knew a lot about what went on behind the scenes. Some of the secrets she knew were ever exposed, especially the dark, hidden behavior of powerful men. It could have destroyed careers, reputations, and entire legacies. That's why many believe the truth is much darker. Kim Porter knew too much. There were signs of abuse and torment during her relationship with Diddy, and some of those details have now become part of an active investigation led by the Southern District of New York. Under prosecutor Emily Johnson, the prosecution is reviewing evidence of Diddy's violent behavior toward at least one former partner during the time he was involved with Kim Porter. Gene Deal, one of Diddy's former bodyguards, claimed that Diddy physically abused Kim. One instance, Kim reportedly defended herself and hurt Diddy with a bottle opener. Deal said it was around this time that Diddy began using drugs heavily. He also claimed that after Diddy slashed Kim's wrist, she suffered such intense pain that she became dependent on opioids for the rest of her life. Mark Curry, a former artist on Diddy's Bad Boy label, also spoke out in an interview. He confirmed that Kim Porter once had her nose broken and he claimed it was Diddy who did it. Curry blamed Diddy's insecurity, saying it was jealousy and control issues that drove the violence. He also accused Diddy of wiretapping Kim's phone, calling it a desperate move to keep tabs on her. To Curry, that kind of behavior was beyond paranoid, was a sign that Diddy was completely losing control. He argued that spying on someone's phone or home just to monitor their private conversations is a serious invasion and a clear act of manipulation. The controversy surrounding Kim Porter's death doesn't stop with Diddy, it extends to how the LAPD handled the case. In one video, a detective made confusing and contradictory statements. At first he said, "We will continue to reach out to the medical examiner," but moments later he added, "At this time we don't see any evidence of criminal activity, so we will proceed based on the medical examiner's report." When reporters questioned how they could dismiss foul play so quickly, the detective suddenly changed course and said, "No one is ruling anything out at this time. The cause of death remains undetermined because we don't yet know what caused it. There's no clear sign of criminal behavior from the autopsy." But for many watching closely, those contradictions only deepened the mystery and the suspicion. So what's really going on? First they say there's no sign of criminal activity. Then they claim nothing is ruled out. These contradictions only make the public lose more trust in the investigation. And now, an even darker theory is gaining traction on conspiracy forums, that Diddy may have enlisted Corey Gamble, Kris Jenner's longtime partner, to manage the situation at Kim Porter's house and cover up damaging secrets. The theory started with a blurry photo shared on Reddit and Twitter, showing a man who looks like Corey Gamble at Kim Porter's home on the day she died before the police or investigators had even arrived. There's never been an official reason given for why he was there at such a critical moment. His unexplained presence made people wonder what his real role was that day. In some online circles, Corey is believed to be a cleaner, someone who works quietly to erase evidence for the rich and powerful. He has strong connections with big names like Diddy and Jay-Z and is known for avoiding scandals, despite being in the public eye constantly. That's why some believe Diddy trusted him enough to handle the cover-up personally. By 2018, Kim Porter had become Diddy's biggest liability. After more than 13 years together, she wasn't just his ex and the mother of his kids, she was someone who had witnessed it all. She knew about the secret parties, the shady business deals, the hidden relationships, and the criminal behavior that could bring Diddy's empire crashing down. According to insiders, Kim kept evidence, videos, photos, documents, and journals as a kind of life insurance. If something ever happened to her, those files could ruin careers and trigger serious legal trouble for Diddy and others. Her death didn't just happen in a vacuum, it came at a time when financial scandals and sexual assault allegations were starting to surround Diddy. If Kim had released the evidence she supposedly held, it could have destroyed Diddy's public image and taken down others with him. That's why many believe her death wasn't natural, it was intentional, a silencing act carried out to protect a much bigger secret. After Kim died, Diddy's reaction raised eyebrows. He posted emotional tributes on social media, organized an elaborate memorial, and called Kim the most important woman in my life. But behind the scenes, he avoided every question about the true cause of her death. And what stood out most was that he never called for a deeper investigation. Not something you'd expect from a wealthy man or a grieving father who'd lost the mother of his children. Even more strange was how quickly the case was closed. After just one autopsy, The cause was ruled as pneumonia, and the investigation stopped. There were no independent reviews, no second opinions, and no interviews with people who had been with Kim in her final hours. For a celebrity death, the speed and lack of transparency only made people more suspicious that something was being hidden. Then came the evidence that truly shattered Diddy's public image. In May 2024, CNN released shocking surveillance footage that went viral. It showed Diddy violently attacking his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles back in March 2016. The video is hard to watch. He grabs her, pushes her, drags her, and kicks her. It's brutal. During her testimony, Cassie described how Diddy often forced her into drug-fueled sexual encounters that made her feel like a prostitute. Now think about Kim Porter. If Diddy was capable of such violence and abuse with Cassie, what's to say he didn't treat Kim the same or worse? That question became even more urgent during a recent federal court hearing in Manhattan. Prosecutor Emily Johnson introduced a new piece of evidence, a video related to Kim Porter, described as the turning point in the case against Diddy. According to Johnson, the video is even more chilling than the one of Cassie. It shows Diddy violently abusing Kim Porter in her own home in 2017, just over a year before she died. The footage lasts 17 minutes and was recovered from a hidden camera that Kim herself had installed in the main living room of her Beverly Hills home. Johnson said Kim had felt threatened and believed she was being watched for months, so, in that effort to protect herself, she recorded everything. And now that video may finally reveal the truth she feared the world would never see.